Hello, I'm in the woods today, not doing anything too wild like going on a massive camp, but I am going to be making a little fire and showing you how to do so in the sense of a proper way. But I am going to use I might use a lighter if I can't use the flint and steel. I mean, it's not necessarily a proper way because there is like extensive bushcraft ways to make a fire, but I'm just going to show you the very basics of what you need to collect to make a fire. So firstly, as I'm stood right next to it, this is a birch tree. The way you can tell it's a birch tree is because it's white. Like in summer you'll see it vibrantly. It's more white than any other tree. I'm pretty sure it's a beech tree what it looks like. I think I have no idea, right? I'm not a tree expert, but let me check. I'm pretty sure. Okay, that the big leaf is a beech leaf, and the small leaf there, if I can find the, I have to try and take it off, and that's a birch leaf, and I'm pretty sure that's a beech tree, and I am for certain this is a birch tree. So why a birch tree? So the birch tree, if it's been aging properly, it'll have these little rolls or just like little bits of bark coming off, and if you don't go too deep into the tree, if you just take it off, it'll be fine because it is just excess bark that's coming off. If you get enough of this, you'll be able to have good, like, you can put a lighter to this. You put a lighter to that, it'll just go up in flames. Like, it's different, completely different to any other wood bark. As like, say for instance, oak bark, you can't really take it off the tree, and if you manage to, it won't just set a fire. It's more like an actual piece of wood. But yeah, so that's the first step. Okay, so once you've got like a decent handful of it, you can move on to your next step. I thought I heard someone then. Anyways, so the next step, you need to just find some sort of kindling kind of stuff, like really fine little twigs. So I'll go and show you them in a minute and show you one of the best trees for it. So as I was walking to my next destination, which I'm pretty close to now, I just found a little bit of mushrooms. I don't know what they are yet. I'm gonna have a look. There it is. Really cool. That's apparently Turbia furfurcea or something like that. I just had a look on Champing Goof. I'm not a mushroom expert, but I do like them. Okay, so your next step is to find some sort of conifer tree and get a hell of a load of these things, because these are great, and I mean great, kindling. Because once you set your birch bark on fire and you just immediately chuck these on, they'll just set up in flames. So that'll get you ready for your next step. So I'm just going to collect a bit of these, and then I'm going to go to where I'm going to build the fire. Okay, so next what you're going to want to do is find yourself a good place to put your fire, or start building your fire, because you don't want to set fire to any other trees, and you don't want to be in a place where it's going to disrupt anyone. And where I am right now is in the middle of some random woods right next to a motorway, so yeah. So what you're going to want to do, like, I got a good handful of these, and then you're just going to want to brush away. Well, it doesn't really matter here, but there's a load of leaves with frost on them, but you're just going to want to move away all the leaves and debris off the floor, and then if you can, with stones, build a little perimeter around the fire so it doesn't spread if it just gets out of control. But if you're carefully watching it and you're being sensible with fire, it's not gonna spread anywhere unless you're just being stupid. So just don't be stupid with fire, because it's fire and it spreads. I'm gonna make this fire now. I'll show you a bit more. Okay, so another additional step, if you've found some birch wood, is if you have, I know it's in the sheath, but if you have the access to a decent knife, which can be used in bushcraft, I'll just put this back, you can scrape using the edge of the blade and just carefully scrape at the bark side, like the bit what faces the earth, should you say, and then try and scrape some of the birch bark and get all the little dust into one little pile, and then you can strike this with a flint and steel. So you don't need a lighter, you can strike this with a flint and steel, it'll just go up in flames. So I'm going to try that now. I've never done this one before, but I know you can do this. Okay, I did just struggle with the flint and steel because I just couldn't scrape enough little chippings off, but I've literally just had to use a lighter. But birch bark just catches straight away, and all you need to do is just, as soon as it catches, chuck these sticks on and then you're away. And all you need to do now is just carefully watch it. Hello again. I didn't do the last episode properly. I mean, the current video properly. That was yesterday. Oops. There we go, got a low battery. I didn't do the last episode properly yesterday, so I'm back outside today. I'm going to show you what I missed out, because what I did, I started the fire, but I didn't record me getting the actual firewood. So what you need to do for that is, as I've already done some here and I've got some there, what you need to do for proper firewood is you need to try and find some dead standing. So dead standing is literally just bits of a tree, like the tree's still alive but this is dead, and you can just, well, not with this one, but you can just practically rip them off or just saw them off if you've got one, but they should just be able to bop off if you kick them hard enough. I'll try and find a proper one. Well, I mean, I don't really need to show you this bit because it's just easy. I mean, there's one here. I don't know if I can just rip this off. Ooh, there you go. See, you just rip it off, it just comes off. When it's wet, it's not the best, but it is okay to use it. It'll still burn, it just won't burn very well. So I forgot where I was on this video, but what you basically need to do is just make sure that you've got your first bit correct, and if you get your first bit correct, you're pretty much sorted. Then you just need to make sure that you've got enough wood so that you then can go running about and that, so other bits of wood if you need to. So yeah, so a quick brainstorm. What do you do when you don't have kindling? Because right now I'm in these woods, there's no pine, I'm just surrounded by oak. I think there's beech and sycamore. So what do you do when there's no good fine kindling? As the only stuff I've found close enough to kindling is this and there's only that. I mean, I might be able to find some more, but it's not good. But what you do is you get your trusty knife. Hopefully YouTube doesn't demonetize me or demonize me for having a knife. But yeah, you get your knife, if you've got one. Hopefully you do. And then you get yourself a big stick, and you get yourself a smaller stick, and then you put your knife. I can't show you this, so I can't really. Okay, let me see. Okay, I can't position it anywhere. I wonder if I could do this. No, okay, right. So you get your stick, and in the middle of it, you just put your knife down that middle bit, and then smack your big stick on your small stick. Well, you smack your big stick on your knife, and then you try and drive it through until you've got. Let me go get them. Until you kind of just dice and quarter. You dice and quarter them in all to this kind of stuff, and then try and get it as small as you possibly can, and then that can be your kindling when you chuck it first on the fire. And you need to just get it as small as you possibly can, because I've got some birch bark. That's the only way I know, other than paper, to get it started. But I've got some birch bark to use today as well, so I'll see how that goes. So when you've done your chopping, you need to like try and get them to that thinness, as just for starting off the fire, something like that just won't catch. You're going to need quite a few really slim pieces so you can make sure that the flame is actually going to catch these sticks, because they ain't like really fibrous like these things, but these are just wet and not really, they're not plentiful. Well, there you have it. There's another fire, and I'm on my hammock, as this is why you can see I'm just moving a lot. But yeah, I was going to make myself a cup of tea, but I forgot my bloody cup. So that's a little tutorial now to make a fire. I nearly actually didn't get this fire going, and the little trick that I did, I just got a little bit more birch bark. So you kind of want a really good handful of birch bark when you're starting off, just so that there's enough flame to catch the wood, the kindling that you're using. And then the kindling that I did use, the chopped up bits of wood, what I did with my knife, that just, oh, I just got a flame just land on me. So yeah, it did work easily. It just needed a little bit of TLC, but then it just explodes. Yay.